Hi, Andrea here from the Mount Vernon City Library, and this is my friend Rami Warburton, and we are talking about garden planting today. So if you haven't got your seeds yet, then you can call the Mount Vernon City Library and you can get seeds for free from our seed library. And if you watch our last two videos, you'll know just how to get them started and growing. Today we're talking about how to plan our garden. So what do we need to know for planting?
So we're really blessed here in Skagit to have an amazing growing season. The first thing that you want to know a little bit about where we are is your planting zone. So we are zone in Mount Vernon, zone 8A and 8B. And this means that we have a really long growing season. We have mild summers, mild winters, and we can grow just about anything here. But unfortunately, we do not have a really hot growing season. So some things are a little bit more challenging, like your heat lovers, eggplants, peppers, tomatoes, melons. These kinds of things have a really long maturity time. So it takes, almost 100 days for some of these things to mature, and there just isn't enough time. But you can get these things growing if you have like a heat mat or a greenhouse, or you choose really locally adapted seeds, like what you might find at a seed library.
So it's not impossible, but it's definitely
impossible.
a little bit more of a challenge.
That's right.
So what are the things we should take into consideration about where we're planting things and how to best use our space?
Yeah, so before you begin, choosing your seeds and getting them started, you do want to evaluate your space. What kind of sunlight does your space get? What kind of water does it get? Where is your water access? You do not want to haul water. I've been there. I've done that. You want to make sure that you have easy hose access where you can water your garden easily. You want to also look at your soil. What kind of soil do you have? Does it need amendments? And we're going to talk about that in the next video a little bit more, like really how to get to know your soil. But for now, you might just know that maybe it needs to be a little bit fluffier so you can aerate it a little bit, or really anything you need to do with your garden space to know how to make your plan.
And are there certain plants that you should not put next to each other? And how do you know that?
That is definitely like a trial and error thing.
Okay.
There are things that are called companion plants that like to kind of live with each other, like potatoes and basil love to live with each other. But that's a pretty advanced thing. At this point, I think it's just important to focus on getting things growing, having a good time, and providing healthy food for your family.
So what does your garden plan look like?
I always plan my garden or my farm or wherever I'm working at that time based on what I like to eat and what my community likes to eat. So I'll start making a list of what do I want to eat, what do I want to cook, or what do I want to donate to the food pantry, or all these types of things. I make a list and then I go from there. And I organize based on, what needs to be put directly into the garden, or what do I need to start early, what might need a heat mat, like our happy tomatoes. And I make a list from there, and I begin making a little chart. So you'll be able to see on the screen here a sample of what I would like to do for a garden based on what I like to eat. And this is a vegetable garden, not a flower garden.
Okay. So if I want to plant lettuce, for example, but I want to have salads like all summer long, how can I figure out how often or when I need to plant the lettuce to make this happen?
So that's called succession planting. When you want to have, let's say, you don't want to just eat radishes once. You want to eat radishes for many weeks until it gets hot, and then your radishes won't grow anymore. Your seed packet will also let you know when is a time not to plant also. Okay. But let's say in early spring, cool weather is a great time for lettuces. So you can plant directly into your garden, or you can start them inside. You can start them each week. So then as they grow, you'll have ones that are more mature and ones that are just starting. So by the time you've eaten through the mature ones, your next ones are ready to go and you have more salad.
And then it will tell you on the seed pack when not to plant them any longer, when you're kind of done for the season with lettuce or whatever it may be.
Yeah, and that also depends on the variety, but the nature will let you know. Your lettuce will do something, or your radishes will do something called bolting, and it'll try to make seed. This is your plant trying desperately to survive. So it'll send up a huge stalk, and your lettuce will get really long, or your radish will get really long, and it'll make a flower and make seed. And that'll be your time to know, okay, it's
Okay,
too
yeah,
hot.
I've done that before.
You have that.
Yeah.
But that could also be a fun way to save seed for your lettuce. If you
Oh.
let it keep going, once it's nice and dry, you can save it and bring it back to the seed library.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite vegetable to plant?
My favorite thing to plant definitely is radishes. They're great for spring, they're great for fall, really fun for kids. They're like little gemstones you can pull from the ground. They practically grow themselves. It's a ton of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all this information.
Yeah.
And thanks you guys for joining us. And we will see you next time.